This is so JQY. The world outside these doors feels like it's crumbling. Hate, war, anti-Semitic acts in the headlines, what feels like every day, anti-LGBTQ legislation popping up left and right. And now, according to my weather app, the sky is like actually falling. And yet it is a sweet Monday because we are here celebrating. Yeah. It's not a coincidence that the JQY logo, this little one here, looks like it says the word joy. Though we're an organization that supports youth dealing with unimaginable pain and trauma, and the work that we do often feels heavy, we are also a place of joy and lightness. It's in the very bones of this organization to find joy in the midst of chaos, to laugh in the middle of despair, and to take lemons and turn them into signature cocktails. And that's a shout out to the Mezcal marker and the bourbon Uranowitz, if you haven't had one of those yet. Our drop-in center is a calming, safe haven in the heart of the ever so peaceful Times Square. And we're a place where Jewish queer youth can come every week and finally breathe a sigh of relief, where they don't have to code switch. They don't have to code switch based on who they're standing near. They don't have to check parts of themselves at the door. They can just walk into our space and finally they can just be. And within those walls, they gain strength from one another. They learn to be proud of themselves without compromising parts of who they are. They build the confidence and the coping skills to go back out into the world. And as one of our participants recently shared with me, I've been walking around the world proactively dodging being punched in the face everywhere I go. They were explaining what it feels like to move through the world expecting to be hit with homophobia and transphobia around every corner, anticipating it everywhere. They thought that if they stayed small and kept their head down, that maybe the punch would miss them. And they realized that going through life in such a state of fear was not a way to live, and it actually wasn't protecting them either. They're now working on standing a little taller and holding their head high, despite not knowing what will happen next. Will I actually get punched in the face, they said? Maybe. Will it hurt? Yeah. But at least I won't spend my whole life hiding. That is the kind of strength that is required for JQYers to get through just a normal day. And that's the kind of resilience with which we equip our youth. Not only to defend, but to learn how to get back up again when the world disappoints or hurts them. We fight back against darkness to find joy, and we look for the light. And we did not have to look very hard to find our shining honorees. Our Jewish queer icon, Brandon Uranowitz. And our JQY trailblazer, Riva Marker. These two rays of sunshine stood out to us in these dark times as people who live proudly and fully as their Jewish queer selves. But more than that, they live their lives in a way that inspires others, especially Jewish queer youth, to do the same. Through their work, through their visibility, and through the stories that they bring to the world. And speaking of people who make things happen, there are so many people to thank for making this sweet, sweet Monday possible. You'll hear about them throughout the course of the evening, but I can't leave this stage without a huge thank you to tonight's co-chairs, Dovey and Rachel. Dovey, with whom I have spent many a night late planning and sometimes panicking over the past 4 months. And Rachael, for opening up your heart to JQY and bringing all your people with you. And lastly, I want to thank my wife, Henna. endless patience, late night pep talks, and for making space for this work, even when it spills into our home, our weekends, and more than its fair share of my brain.